Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Dominions 4 in our 7-person Proof for All series. This is turn number 48. We're really getting towards the end. We're kind of starting to realize the likely fate of Shinuyama, not as victors, but we'll get into that more in the course of this episode. Today I'm joined by Sam. Thanks for coming on, Sam. How are you doing?
Yeah, we're in a bit of a corner.
It's not that we're like losing or anything. It just our chances of winning are not nearly as good as I was hoping they would be.
It's like a boxing match, and we weren't able to get the
Exactly.
knockout.
That's a really good way of putting it. I mean, we're still the favorites leaving this game, I think, because we'll probably end on the Ascension point highest total. I don't know what that'll mean, but just so everyone's up to date on our research, we did complete the 2 levels of thaumaturgy, so now we have a sleep, and I mean, that's really what we were going for, right?
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, we have sleep that should be able
Bring that up a little
to
more.
make people fall asleep if it.
I mean, mainly we're just gearing that at Fafnir as far as I remember, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if it works, we'll be able to beat them easy. If it doesn't work,
Yeah, he'll be very, very difficult to combat.
it'll be no different than it would have been otherwise.
Okay, well, that's happening. Speaking of Fafnir, he actually claimed the Throne of Fortune, and we know right where that is since we just vacated Feasible. So he has this one back. Again, this is where we will continue to prepare one more turn before going in. Let's see. We have a battle at the Forest of Gun. This is just us taking province. I think a really minor province defense, if anything. We have Haloma. This is a probing attack on Haloma, I guess. That did not succeed. Let me just see. Yeah, they just sent a scout in. I think Vanheim's very thorough about doing all his attacking your province with scouts just to make sure you leave at least province defensive 1, which was not a problem for us. We've done that every turn. Might Marsh looks like another scouting type situation. And finally, we have something for you to talk about. We have this massive army which is attacking Scythia, still sieging it. Unfortunately, they breached, as we can see down here, our fortress. But tell us, what are we looking at here?
We're looking at a lot of pain, mainly because it's inside the fort isn't exactly built to stop this.
Yeah. I mean, this will have to actually go up against our walls, but is that really going to matter?
I think they just have sheer numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they did overtake already my main army twice. So we've been wearing them down. That's the only thing I can say is that at least we've been slowly wearing them down, but it's probably not going to be enough.
Nope, the only way we would have probably been able to really bring them down to size would have been if we managed to sneak someone with a mass kill spell and just wipe out 200 or 300 or so in a single turn.
Yeah. So they definitely are still a potent threat, despite eliminating quite a lot of my forces. My defense there was, I think, province defense of maybe like 40 or so. And unfortunately, they didn't. They rolled through it pretty quickly. Just lost 12 units. It's insignificant.
Yeah. Yeah, when it starts getting to like numbers and against numbers in battle, generally the side with more numbers in Dominions 4 loses significantly less.
Yeah, which makes sense. There's some like kind of logic to that. Okay, Nash, and I believe this is the other province we just took over, but it doesn't really mean much. We're just making our way back towards their capital. Griffin Spires was attacked, and this is a huge contingent from Ulm. They're not attacking Griffin Spire for any reason other than to move towards Agartha. So this is kind of an interesting sneaky attack on their part. They have all these clockwork horrors. They have full lines of pikeneers. What do you think about what you're seeing here from Ulm? Does this look like a pretty strong army?
It looks about right. One thing I have noticed is that he doesn't seem to have. He doesn't seem to really. He doesn't have a lot of archers. I would say I can understand because he has.
Yeah, I was about
Blizzard,
to say Iron Blizzard
but,
seems to be just as effective.
but their archers, but Ulm's archers actually get a significant siege.
Oh, the crossbowmen.
Their main crossbowman is the sapper. It costs more money, but it acts like 2 or 3 units in a siege.
Okay. Yeah, that would definitely be helpful. I mean, we can see this force was just basically killed immediately.
The big problem with Agartha is just that they have siege bonuses, both defending and attacking.
Okay.
So if he hits a fortress with like 200 or 300 pale ones inside, he probably won't be able to break down the fortress, especially since they don't starve.
Okay.
That'll be his. That's the main weakness I find in this army, is just that Agartha can stonewall him in one fortress.
And that's interesting because it is turn 48, so you see that it's going to be turn 48 to 49, they'll move here, turn 49, they'll be here, and then turn 49 to turn 50, they'll be here. And by the way, I don't know if I made this clear, I don't remember when it became clear, this episode or last episode, but I was wrong about the time frame of the game. Just to clarify this again, we're not playing turn 50, we're only doing 49 turns in total. So that was a little... that was like a point of confusion on my part, that we're actually ending. We don't actually play turn 50. We end before we resolve turn 50. So I don't think that would change the game. So I'm not like concerned about it, because basically we have our chance to get to a Feasible. The fact that this undead thing is kind of rolling over our forces in Scythia means that we'll probably be, even in the best case scenario, taking a Feasible. We'll probably be 1 point short of ascending. Yeah, but nonetheless, it's just something that I want to point out, that is how the game will finish, is on 49 is the last turn we give orders. So that means that they'll be their last turn will just be being on Agartha's capital. They won't even have a chance to really siege or breach or anything.
It'll at least be moral victory.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I mean, if you can end with your army, your main army, besieging the enemy's capital, it's kind of something interesting, right? No, we haven't. Go ahead.
Did we have a unit moving towards the capital? I'm pretty sure we did.
Our unit moving towards like Vanheim capital?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one thing I'll cover, is that the Forest of Gun and the Nashen, those two battles, we didn't view them because they have no. It's just province defense, very small province defense. But the reason these guys are moving out is to try one last valiant attempt at taking Vanheim. We'll see if it goes well or not. It doesn't matter. These troops are totally expendable now that we already have Ene Umrol. And we have Solian, but we don't have Cern yet, although it's been breached, so we'll probably have that one next turn as well. So even if, this isn't the end, even if we don't win with the victory, I think we're going to finish strong. There was something else I was trying to say. Griffin Spire's Darkwood. What's Darkwood? Oh, yeah, they sent a scout to Darkwood, I think. Yep. The Sinks, which is this. Oh, yeah, this is what I wanted to say, actually. I'm going to open this battle up because we can kind of see that Vanheim has amassed. It's just amazing how Vanheim continues to spread their troops out all around. Their access to income must have been much, much higher than anyone expected. Because they still have this as like a fourth army. And it's not a bad army. It's not going to take on anyone's main army, but it's like a really strong army to be floating around.
It's a lot of summons, so I can see how we built it.
Yeah, just like, okay, it's time to liquefy all my gems. The end of the game is coming. So this is actually running through Ulm's territory, though. I mean, we can see all these things are just moving into Ulm's territory. So Ulm is technically under siege right now, and the few remaining territories around them are being taken slowly by Vanheim. It's a really interesting situation how Ulm just barely has held on this whole game and has just been just repeatedly under siege from... I mean, let's see. It's first Asphodel, then Agartha, and now Vanheim is really taking a strong swing at them.
Yeah, their big weakness is that they're kind of next to they were next to about 3 of the strong powers in the game.
Yeah, I would say they were just kind of unfortunate in the same way Man was unfortunate. I mean, not the same way, but Man was also unfortunate, but theirs was related to their starting position being poor economically. Ulm had decent position economically, but just happened to be penned in by other nations.
Yeah, I would say that that's worse than what Man had.
Well, we can see the final situation. I don't know, because at least Ulm got to make a stand for themselves. I feel like Man never was able to really build their own army. Sure, like we see how strong that they are now with this, like in terms of territory, but all this is not really providing income, so.
Man had a decent army, remember? They just got it destroyed.
That's right. Are you referring to the one they lost to Asphodel? Oh, are you talking about the one they got destroyed at Vanheim?
They got a big one destroyed.
Yeah, you're
at Vanheim.
right.
That was probably the worst.
That was probably the worst. You're right.
They definitely had. They weren't helpless, but I would say one issue is that the starting position wasn't great, but their nation was kind of bad.
Huh.
Furthermore, just because of how Man is, I think Das was a bit too hesitant because, well, the problem with Man is that you think if you hold on, right? You think if you hold on a little longer, you'll have something better, but you never really quite have that with Man. Because they're not a strong nation.
I mean, I might even question his decision to make castles here when fortresses probably would have sufficed. If you have such little amount of money. Actually, I don't know. That's really a petty thing. That's like super hair splitting, but
it does matter a little bit. It could have bought him a few more troops here and there, but I would say his army built up fairly well, but there was a lot of things that just destroyed his army.
I think Man did pretty good diplomatically. I don't think I have any gripes about. He seemed to be very good. The only problem I had sometimes was that his ambiguity, like his passiveness. Sorry, I should say his passiveness diplomatically, his unwillingness to reveal information. So the kind of mysterious aspect to his diplomacy led me to have
that kind of,
like a little suspicion towards him, which in the end I realized I didn't need to have. But just because he was playing his cards so close to his chest.
It backfired for him badly. I'll just say that. Sometimes it does pay to be a bit open in Dominions for surprise.
Well, I don't think that it backfired. That his diplomatic. That's not what cost him the army, right? I think Vanheim.
Well, I would say it's generally indicative of his behavior, which was just
Cautious.
Playing very close to your chest, playing very cautious.
Right?
Then
that makes sense. Yeah, the fact that he was cautious with his play. I think that's his personality too. So it's kind of interesting to see. Like I was kind of role playing my nation, although, of course.
Yeah. Honestly, I think he would have been better as Agartha.
Yeah.
Interesting. He would have loved a nation like that because that nation can fortify. As Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah, and you've already talked about how the Pale Ones will help with that too.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say Man did okay. He definitely could have. He definitely. I think the only thing is he didn't realize how desperate his situation was till it was kind of too late to do anything about it.
Well,
because by the time he moved. Everyone was just too strong, I think.
I just wanted to show that one last battle, Glimmering Fields. So we moved our troops in here, and so now to talk about our plans moving forward from this turn, we're going to attack into Scythia, right? We're going to do...
Yeah.
These units are all useless, unless... I mean, like, there's nothing I can do with them in the game before it ends. If the game goes longer, there's so many decisions. I'm sure this is the same for everyone. But there's so many decisions I'd be doing so much differently if the game wasn't ending... Well, now I found out that the game's going to end basically in 2 turns. Let's see, 4, 9. Well, I mean, I only have 1 more turn left to make action, so I guess 1 more turn. So in our last one... I mean, in our second last turn, I should say, we might as well just go for it, right? So we're going to just send everyone in. They're all currently in cap form now because they were sneaking. Remember... Like you advised us to maybe move through Solemn so that we didn't have any problems dying in Glimmering Fields so that they could get into the castle. We didn't realize, of course, that the siege would be ending so quickly. Now, that's not going to be a huge problem. It's only going to cost us 1 turn in the end. So everyone will be changing shape on the first turn. So that's... And then Shinuyama here with his group. These guys are all going to move in as well. And, whoops, this is the wrong one. This group is going to move in and hopefully maybe all of the combined arms here. You corrected me. I was like, oh, this will be a good one big battle. But you correctly pointed out that this will actually be 2 battles. All the people coming on the outside will fight the army first. And then the people inside the castle will fight the victorious army of Airmore after that, right?
Yeah. We can only hope we do enough and this army dies.
Yeah, I'm not giving us really good odds, considering they still have a lot of strong units. Like, basically all we've killed is a lot of chaff besides their Holy Sepulchres, but...
At the very least, it will look nice. It will look nice for the video.
Yeah, right. I mean, we'll give the viewers what they want. Are you not entertained? That's all we're going to do now is provide some entertainment. So... Okay, well, that's what we're doing there, and then we're also going to be attacking into Vanheim.
Yeah. Yeah, you said you just wanted to see if you can lure them out, and if nothing else...
Right, good point.
We besieging their
because we have Fafnir here and a Feasible, and my hope is that if we do enough... If we can siege Vanheim... We just have so many forces which are arriving a little bit too late, but if we could siege Vanheim itself... We may draw Fafnir back. He probably knows that with 2 armies moving... I mean, there's a general movement pattern to these armies, with Vanheim being the end goal. I think it's plain to see. So, maybe we'll evoke, I should say, a response from Fafnir. If he comes back to Vanheim, if some of this army does, then if even a little bit leaves, that's all we needed to take the time to defeat a Feasible. So, yeah. Well, I have to say that I don't think there's too much to say for this turn. We probably have covered all the angles. Is there anything you want to...
Yeah.
Did I miss anything? Are we leaving anything out?
Nothing except the scouts, but they're just kind of everywhere at this point.
Yeah. I guess we can mention we're summoning ghosts here. Vine ogres, ghosts. So we're still pulling a few extra units in Darkwoods to prepare for our final attack on a Feasible. That's something.
Yeah. Alright. I guess that's it.
Okay. Well, Sam, first of all, before we go, thank you so much for joining me. And we're not there yet, but come turn 50... Oh, we forgot to mention, you had this idea to do the Axes of Hate on we're going to create another Ghost General here, and we're going to use Axes of Hate with him, right? Dual wield.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna create a bunch of Ghost Generals and try to hit Fafnir really hard and hope he dies.
Like I think we're even creating a sledgehammer or something. Oh yeah, Hammer of the Mountains for
we're gonna give
Yukunaga. And hope that he just one hits... Well, I mean, he does a lot of damage to Fafnir, hopefully.
Yeah, hit him very hard. Hopefully he dies or he runs away.
Yeah.
That's the only plan at that point.
Yep, that's the hope. So, okay, so that said. Thanks for joining me, Sam, and we'll definitely. When turn 50 comes out, when the end of the game is here, we'll definitely have a nice post-mortem, and I hope you can join for that. Just to talk about how the series went, kind of like our thoughts on the whole game as a whole. We're just trying to describe things from beginning to end, so it'll be interesting to have your input there.
Yeah. I guess we're just gonna have to see. It'll be 2 turns from now.
Yeah, a little bit less than we expected, but okay. Well, thanks so much for watching, everyone, and stay tuned for the final episode, Turn 49, coming up very soon. Until then, thanks for watching and take care.